It's Tuesday, November 19, 2024. Mental health is real, seek help, end the stigma. On the news this afternoon. Police confirm killing of motorcycle rider in Ahoda East, Rivers State. Controversy lingers ahead of Rivers APC State Congress. Experts react to military destruction of illegal crude oil sites. NNPC Limited speaks on delay in completing rehabilitation of Port Harcourt refinery. On foreign scene, Russian president signs decree allowing use of nuclear weapons in war with Ukraine. I'm Ifichuku Moyela with the news. Now, the Rivers State Police Command has confirmed the killing of the motorcycle rider identified as innocent at Civil Defense Road in Ahoda Town, Ahoda East local government area. Now, it was gathered that the incident happened on Sunday night. Public Relations Officer of the command, Grace Iringikoko, who confirmed the incident, said the motorcycle rider was shot while trying to resist gunmen from robbing him. SB Iringikoko said investigation is ongoing and efforts are on in top gear to arrest the perpetrators. Moving on, the spokesperson of the Emeka Bekele-led faction, Darlington Nwuju, is insisting that planned local and state congresses of the Tony Okocha-led faction of the party are illegal. Mr. Nwuju tells correspondent Yomiruware that their tenure is as elected APC State Executive Council will elapse next year.
And there are two standing judgments that have not been set aside. But when this justice is served, let nobody cry foul. Because when judgment came on the 12th day of August 2024 by Justice Aproko, they had the latency of time, they had the latitude also of time to have appealed these judgments. And up till today, no court has set aside those two judgments. So the tenureship of all elected executives of APC in Rivers State, all elected in 2021, still succeeds according to law and in the eyes of the law.
He also spoke on a Court of Appeal stay of execution that the Tony Okocha-led APC is relying on to conduct these congresses.
The appellate decision of last week Friday, we are not arguing about if they did set that interim order aside or not. But what did that order say? As against what the judgment of Justice Aproko said. There are two different issues that we can first. What the court talked about last week Friday was purely the issue of coming to conduct congresses or not. But the standing issue, which is the issue of are there vacancies in the first place?
However, a lawyer and member of APC in the state, Atinike Williams-Wobodo, disagrees with this.
The same persons who have secured judgment went to court in an abusive judicial process to secure another order, this time specifically restraining the APC from conducting congresses. And during the pendency of that appeal, the APC brought an application to say, set aside the execution or stay the execution of that process. The Court of Appeal granted that express order, upon which APC has now gone to conduct congresses.
Mr. Williams-Wobodo also explained what may likely happen to the Congress.
They are saying that APC has not vacated the two earlier judgments. Well, I don't hold the brief of APC as far as those cases are concerned, so I will not be able to say, but I know that APC has appealed against those judgments. But the judgment, if the Court of Appeal eventually finds that the judgment in Emeka Bekele was valid, then all the processes done by APC becomes a nullity. But until that is done, you cannot conclusively say, I guess, based on the determination of the Court of Appeal's application.
In the meantime, some youth of the FCT, including those who say they are indigenous and non-indigenous, have slammed human rights lawyer Deji Adeoju for criticizing the FCT minister Nyesom Wike. Recall that the human rights lawyer replied to the FCT minister in a recent interview for claiming he sought his support to become the PDP national secretary. The viral video of the strongly worded interview of the lawyer has stirred reactions. At a media briefing, the group's representative, Zaka Nehemiah, who reeled out the achievements of the FCT minister, frowned at the strong words used by the human rights activist against the FCT minister.
in this administration is Barrister Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister. What he has done, no minister has ever done it in the history of Nigeria. So I wonder why all these called activists are not talking about development. Is it that they are not activists of achievement? They are not activists of development? They are not activists of community development? It's in the history of FCT. This is the first time that we can see more than 2, 3, 4 projects are going on in each local government in less than 1 year. But they are not talking about that.
Another youth leader also spoke on this.
I'm not asking Deji to withdraw his statement, but let me say it clearly. If he does not desist from all these statements against our minister, unnecessary statements against our minister, we will have no other choice than to engage him as youth. We are not begging him to withdraw his statement, but we will engage him, and he should be very careful. The fact that we are hosting him in the FCT and he is not respecting our stakeholders.
In other news, an environmentalist, Mike Karibo, says the destruction of illegal crude oil refining sites is another way of reinforcing the environmental hazard already caused by the illegal oil dealers, also known as bullfire. Now, Mr. Karibo, the country manager of Natural Justice Nigeria, said this to correspondent Onyeka Chimusu while reacting to the recent destruction of a illegal crude oil site by the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army in part of Rivers State. He expressed concern that the military has continued with the destruction despite efforts against it.
It has very deleterious consequences on the environment. You are, as it were, reinforcing the damage that these guys are already doing to the environment by destroying the product and pouring them all, allowing them to escape into the environment. I think that a better method ought to be devised to deal with tolling refined crude products. It's been on for God knows how long. We've done campaigns around it. We've talked with the military, and they've not discovered the proper way to deal with it.
Mr. Karibo charged the country's research institute to come up with better ways to deal with the situation.
It will require, I think, our institutes, our research institutes, to develop perhaps a better way of dealing with this issue. Do you get tankers? Do you get a storage platform where you put all of this crude, all of this seized product, and how do you clean it up and be sure that it is the right quality to put in the market? Or if it's not the right quality, what do you do with it? How do you dispose of it properly so that it doesn't impact the environment? These are things that we need to come up with clear solutions for.
The environmentalist also spoke on the insinuation that the destruction is another way for the military to cover up their track since they are also allegedly involved in illegal oil activities.
I cannot speak on this on a factual basis. I think that it is important that we deal with the issue of crude oil theft and artisanal oil refining because it is destroying our environment. Whether it's community guys, whether it's the military with the support of security agencies, it doesn't matter. We just have to deal with that issue because we are destroying our own source of life. So if we destroy some of these military persons, they are from other parts of the country. They are not from this place. So it is incumbent on us who are the stewards of this environment to ensure that we protect our environment.
Similarly, environmentalist Fireface Dumnamene is asking security agencies to adopt a method he called environmental recovery while fighting illegal oil bunkering in the Niger Delta region. Mr. Dumnamene spoke to correspondent Obioreware on this.
Despite their effort in suppressing the act, the youths are still forging ahead. I also heard that they claim to have destroyed 40-something sites. The criminal activity associated with that is on the increase because the economy is harsh. And when they destroy some of these sites, they are not taking effort to recover the sites. So I think that destroy this site, they pollute the environment. It is another criminal act to contribute to environmental pollution at the magnitude they are doing. So I think they need to also do recovery. After they destroy the site, they recover the site by way of cleaning the site, trying to do remediation, and then try to restore the environment to its original status.
The environmentalist also believes that the setting up of modular refineries will help reduce illegal oil activities in the region.
In
order for them not to regroup, what they need to do is to provide alternative livelihood opportunities after destroying a particular site. And that is why we have always called for the legalization of artisanal refineries so that we can be able to address some of these issues. Modular refinery for the artisanal refiners is also one of the ways to go. If we are able to address some of these measures, it will be difficult for the youth to regroup. Start providing alternative livelihood opportunities. The youth will continue to regroup and continue in the crime, and they will continue to make business for themselves. Illegal refineries will not stop. Normally, they can only reduce it, but they will not be able to eradicate it because the youth are hungry and they have no alternative to what they are doing.
On his part, the security expert Chizuke Taisei said the activities of illegal oil activities still persist because of what he called the involvement of the cabal in the business.
What I think is that there are cabal involved in such criminal activity. It's why those things have continued to persist. Until that is nipped at the bud, we will just be touching the outer part of the problem. Busting of oil pipeline is not every person's work, and it's also done by very expensive equipment, and it's not what you do overnight. Even siphoning the oil is also not a small activity as far as illegal oil bunkering in Nigeria is concerned.
Now recall that over the weekend, the Nigerian army said it arrested more than 40 oil thieves in some part of the Niger Delta region. Away from that, residents of Egui community in Eche local government area of Rivers State have raised concerns over the high cost of accessing medical treatment at the primary health care center in the area. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, they alleged that free drugs are sold to patients and sometimes diverted. They urged the Rivers State Ministry of Health to provide more drugs for rural dwellers. They also called for an increase in the number of health workers at the Egui Model Primary Health Care Center.
Even if you tell them that you don't have money, they will not consider. Instead, they will not immunize that child. In terms of pregnancy, the routine drugs, they will write the amount you must pay. They are collecting money for drugs, treatments, even the card. If you want to go and register for pregnancy, they will take card.
Because of married, pregnant women, there is no medicine in the Egui Health Center. They should bring more medicine and help women.
Medicine, you go pay money. They know they give us free. They carry the medicine, they go. Make them bring drugs now to help people when not get money. Not be say when the government give them the medicine, they go sell and pack for our hand. If government give them free medicine, make them shout us. Make them inform us, make you come health center, come take free medication.
Meanwhile, a nurse at the health facility who preferred to be anonymous narrated some of their challenges and called for government assistance.
We're out of stock for many of the commodities. We don't have them. Some of our facilities are bad. We need assistance. In that aspect, we are short staff. In this whole facility, we are just 2 nurses here. We don't have any doctor. So if government can send personnel that will help to do the work, it will also help.
Still to come, NNPC Limited speaks on delay in completing rehabilitation of Port Harcourt refinery. Stay with us.
Wherefore, we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us have grace, whereby we may serve God acceptably with reverence and godly fear. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 28. Brotherhood of the Cross and Star celebrates the divine manifestation of the King of Kings.
back. Now, the acting chairman of the Rivers State Local Government Service Commission, Goodlife Idoku Ben, has emphasized the critical role of education in building societal development and national integration. Mr. Idoku Ben spoke during his visit to his alma mater, Okobo State Primary School in Abua Odra Local Government Area, Rivers State, accompanied by his wife, Ilami Ben, who is also a former pupil of the school. They assessed the school's current condition and pledged to collaborate with the state government to enhance educational standards. The visit followed an invitation by the head teacher, Wuneke Ige. Mr. Idoku Ben further highlighted the school's past reputation for excellence and assured pupils of effort to restore its glory under the Fubara administration.
This school started in 1946, and that the school actually started in the town hall of Okobo when an enlightened man in Okobo came in, and that was Chief Okagwa. I passed through this school, I look at the environment, I said, God, what is happening? This is a time that some governments are no longer interested in putting the best for the children. We thank God today for Governor Siminalaye Fubara. Children, I'm here this afternoon to tell you one thing. Our forefathers tried to make sure that we had education. I want to assure you this afternoon that there is a hope for you.
Earlier, Ward 5 Councillor Isaac Igoni, inspired by the visit, promised to support the school's development. On a part, the head teacher requested for more teachers, potable water, and classroom renovations to improve learning conditions. Now, today is International Men's Day. The day is set aside to celebrate the positive value men bring to the world, their families and communities. It also highlights positive role models and raises awareness of men's well-being. The theme for this year's celebration is Positive Male Role Models, which highlights the importance of fostering open conversations about men's mental health and creating supportive environments where men can thrive. In other news, today is World Toilet Day and is about raising awareness about the need for all human beings to have access to sanitation. According to the United Nations, about 3.6 billion people, or nearly half the world's population, lack access to safely managed sanitation. With the 2024 theme, Sanitation for Peace, the United Nations emphasizes the critical role of proper sanitation in building peaceful and healthy communities, particularly in areas impacted by conflict, climate change, and neglect. In other news, the Nigerian National Petroleum Commission says the delay in completing the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery was due to the risks and challenges encountered during the rehabilitation. The Chief Corporate Communications Officer of the NNPC, Olufemi Soneye, said this while speaking with journalists. Mr. Soneye said the issues have been resolved and commissioning activities have resumed. Mr. Soneye, however, assured that the rehabilitation work at the Port Harcourt refinery will be completed shortly. In business, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission says it is the responsibility of the electricity distribution companies to replace faulty customers' meters free of charge. In public notice, NERC said it is aware that some discos have instructed customers to apply and pay for the replacement of faulty and obsolete meters within their franchise areas, stating that the instruction contravenes the Commission's order number NERC/246/2021 on the structured replacement of faulty and obsolete end-use customer meters in the Nigerian electricity supply industry. In entertainment, Grammy Award nominee Davido says he will celebrate his birthday with 300 million naira to a charity organization for victims of drug abuse and orphanage homes. This will be the fourth publicized donation from the musician. In sports, Manchester United are looking into a swap deal that would see their Netherlands striker 23-year-old Joshua Zirkzee join Napoli, with Nigeria striker 25-year-old Victor Osimhen moving to Old Trafford. On the international scene, Russian President Vladimir Putin has signed a decree allowing Moscow to use nuclear weapons against a non-nuclear state if it is supported by nuclear powers. On the news this afternoon, you heard the police have confirmed the killing of a motorcycle rider in Ahoda East River State. On the foreign scene, a Russian president has signed a decree allowing the use of nuclear weapon in war with Ukraine. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwusu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.